What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Orozco Body and Mind podcast. I'm your host, Chris Orozco, and I wanted to say thank you so much for supporting the Orozco Body and Mind brand, the podcast. I've been able to have some really awesome people, and I'll continue to have, awesome people in the future. And at the end of the day, I want to be able to bring a platform where I educate you on personal growth, and I want to grow together. I want to be the best versions of ourselves through daily action by doing the things we need to do to improve our lives, to grow, to live a life full of purpose, happiness, enjoyment. We're all human beings on this earth, and all of us want the best lives possible, but it requires work. It requires discipline. It requires action, positive mindset, and habits. And we have to continue to do that, not just for a short period of time, not for 1 or 2 weeks, but continue to grow and evolve and get better, because we can truly make this life the best possible life, but it requires work. Today's episode, I want to talk about growing. So I want to talk to you guys about the continuous growth we need to do through our lives, and the maturity process it takes to understand that we're evolving, we're growing, but there's certain steps we have to do every single day to live a life full of purpose, full of happiness, and transform ourselves to truly special human beings. So everything that I talk about today, I've been able to do in my own life. That's why I feel so strong about this brand and where it's going. Not only because I see the difference in my life, but because I know it works. I know that, if we continue to take the right steps, if we continue to do the right habits, if you continue to consistently grow, you can become a much better human being, much fulfilled human being, where we can truly be happy at the end of our lives. At the end of the day, we just want to be happy. We just want to be the best versions of ourselves. So I'll kind of talk about my experience and the life experiences I've been through in my life, to kind of show you some of the things I've been able to do and hopefully inspire you to be better. So, like in 2022, I was 35 pounds overweight. I was drinking every weekend. I was sometimes smoking. I was eating really unhealthy. And, I remember that I looked in the mirror. I wasn't happy. I looked at myself and I told myself, who am I? I was really lost. I really didn't have a purpose. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. All I knew was that I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. I knew I had more to give. I knew I had more to share with the world. And I really didn't know how. I really didn't know why. And, I remember like I was going out with this girl, and she was, she had her own career going, she had her own profession going, but I was like, she had a really good job, and I really didn't know, what I wanted to do as a career. And I remember I just didn't feel good about myself and where I was going. I was really unhappy, just not in a good spot. We broke up, and I slowly said, I'm going to start building right from the ground up. I'm going to start getting into the habits that make me a better human. I'm going to start, taking steps in the right direction. Sometimes we just need to take small little steps. We don't need to transform ourselves from one day to the other, just like taking simple steps. So I remember it started, like I'd always been an athlete, right? But I wanted to fall in love again with the process of having a better body. So what did I mean by that? So I knew I was overweight, and I wanted to get into the habits that a healthy, lean fit person would get into. So I remember I just started going to the gym every day, And I used to go to the gym when I was younger, but I was like intentionally looking to improve myself at the gym. So it was just about showing up. I remember I took it day by day. So I remember going in once, feeling really good. Then I would tell myself, okay, I got to do it again. I got to do it again. And I kept showing up and I kept going and I kept going, even on the days I didn't feel like it, even on the days where I was tired, where I didn't have energy. I told myself, even if I get a 20-minute workout, it's better than nothing. If I just get 20 minutes on a treadmill, if I do abs, whatever it is, I just got to keep stacking days. It was about getting 1% better each and every single day. And one healthy habit led to another healthy habit. So I remember, for example, like going to the gym, and now I was like, let me try to eat healthier, and I wasn't perfect. There was days where I would eat unhealthy, maybe go on the weekend, but I slowly started to just like, I remember my own consciousness would talk to me when I was like eating unhealthy, when I wasn't doing the right habits. And it would be like, you could do better. So if your own consciousness is talking to you and you feel bad about the things you're doing, if you feel bad about the unhealthy habits you may have, that's a good sign. Consider yourself lucky, because our own consciousness is talking to us all the time, and our consciousness is leading us to where we're supposed to be in life. So I remember my own consciousness. If I ate something bad, or if I didn't go to the gym, I would feel really bad about myself, and I would try to get back in line. So it started by just going to the gym every day. Then it started by eating healthier, even if it was 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day. Started eating healthier. Then it was about reducing those bad habits that were just keep me in the same cycle. So what did I mean by that? Like drinking, in high school, in college, even after college, I was a big drinker. I was, people knew me back then. People that know me from back then know I was the life of the party. I used to be chugging beers. I used to just make myself a fool, just disruptive habits. And, I said, let me reduce the drinking. So I started slowly reducing it. And, I've completely eliminated that drinking, but it wasn't easy for me to just like go from, drinking all the time on the weekends, mostly twice a weekend, to now I'm like a year and a half, almost 2 years, zero alcohol. That was a really, bad habit that I had. So I just started step by step, little by little. I would tell myself and be more disciplined, be more intentional by just like, okay, I'm not going to drink as much. If I'm drinking, I'm going to drink less, until I slowly starting it, reducing it. Our minds are so powerful. Our minds truly, truly have the power to either make you a better life and, inspire you and motivate you, or we can be worse. We can have into worse habits. It's all about our mind and our mindset, right? So if we have positive habits, positive mindset, we have to treat our minds like a tool that's trying to guide us and support our life and not disrupt our life. Our minds are an example of just controlling everything we could to be better. So the more I was able to resist, right, the habits, the more I was able to slow down the habits and start slowly chopping at the tree and slowly eliminating those unhealthy habits, the stronger my mind got. Every time I decided not to drink, I decided not to smoke, I went one more day without doing those habits, it would make me feel really good. And I said, I want to get healthy. I want to get stronger. I want to have a stronger body. And now I'm not saying that I've mastered it, right? Because every day is a new challenge. Every day brings a new process. But now I'm able to really feel good, right? And so I started, eliminating those bad habits, like drinking, like eating unhealthy, like I remember, and even if it was as a man, right? Like watching certain things as a man and even eliminating that, like pornography. Like I know for a lot of men, it's a habit that destroys our mind. you know it's a habit that is not good for us, because now we're not looking at women like how we should look at women, right? Without that sexual drive. Now we should look at our women like they're truly beautiful and they're feminine, and not we shouldn't just look at women for just like more than just sexual stuff. So even that habit was really really hard to cut off. But slowly, like, I just started making better and better efforts, and I started chopping at the tree, and I've been able to eliminate that habit. So when we talk about growth, right? When we talk about growth, is seeing where in our lives, looking at our whole lives, right? And every day seeing where we can improve, right? Like, look at some of us might be addicted to drugs and alcohol. Some of us might be addicted even to like video games or whatever you're addicted to. It's our addictiveness. The whole humanity, all of us, right, have some sort of addiction, whether it's our phone, our TVs, whatever it is. We have to cut down on the addiction and seeing where we're getting distracted, right? If we're able to put our energy, our focus, and just eliminate all distractions, right, into purpose, into our goal, into what we truly want to do with ourselves and our lives, we can go from being lost in just like 6 months to a year, completely being a whole different person. But it requires effort, it requires consistency, it requires growth, right? It's not easy, right? Nobody said life is going to be easy. We have to continue. Even when we fall down, right? You have one bad day, get up and try to be better the next day. We may have 2 or 3 bad days. Don't get stuck there. Continue to grow and evolve. And I've been slowly seeing, as I've learned more, as I continue to develop, as I continue to grow, I've been seeing and feeling so much better in my health. We talk about health. Health is the most important. At the end of the day, you could have and be the most successful person, right? You could have the most money, you could have the most materialistic things, you can have the ability to do many things. If our health is not up to par, if our health is suffering, we're really nobody. We have to take care of our machine. When we talk about success, right, most of us think success is about money, right? We think about success, how much money we have, how much properties we have, whatever the success means. But why don't we like to define success as wellness, right? Like being the healthiest version of ourselves, right? Why don't we define success as our intelligence, like learning more? You know how valuable it is to be able to learn more, to be able to learn how to speak the right way, how to be better human beings, how to evolve ourselves and become somebody totally different. Life is about growing, continuous growth, step by step, little by little. We came to this life to mature. There's some people, right, who might be in their 50s or 60s, but they still act like if they're 20, right? So we came to this life to mature, to grow, to improve ourselves, to be better beings, to help others, to become just unstoppable in whatever area we decide to do, in whatever in whatever area. Yeah. So let's continue to grow. Let's continue to evolve. This brand, right, Orozco Body and Mind, is to be able to educate people that they have purpose. Every single one of us, it doesn't matter who you are, all of us have purpose to become better people, right? And to lead our lives in a much more positive way. If you're somebody who feels lost, if you're somebody who is going through a rough time, keep going, because at the end of the day, The storm eventually ends, and there's a beautiful sunset. And all of us are gonna go and have gone through really difficult times, and if you haven't, you will, because that's life. Sometimes we lose people. Sometimes we get into a bad relationship and it ends. Sometimes whatever bump on the road, there's gonna be bumps. There's gonna be situations where we don't feel well, we feel sick, but it's how many times can we get back up and continue to evolve? How many times can we get better? How many times can we continue to fight, even when all odds are against us, even when, we feel down and out? But if you truly have hope, if you don't lose hope, we can all become special human beings. So, what is growth? Continuous, step-by-step improvement, every single day. So I've been able right now to really work on myself, and it hasn't been long. I'm not saying I've mastered it, but for now, I started really working on myself in 2023. Excuse me. I've been continuous working on myself since 2023, and I see the positive changes I've been able to experience in my health, right? In my finances, in my purpose, in my life in general, with my fitness. And I want to continue to inspire people, right, to understand that there's something more than just the regular 9 to 5 drinking on the weekends and having fun. There's more. We're more than that. We're capable of literally being anything in this life. Doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter if you don't think you have it figured out. We need to continue to get better. We need to continue to evolve. And it starts step by step. This person that I am today, and listen, I'm not some type of I figured it out. I still make mistakes all the time, but I'm very proud of the steps I've been able to take, because I can look in myself in the mirror and say that I've been able to make positive changes, and all of us have the capabilities of making positive changes, right? We all deserve to feel good, to wake up and feel inspired and feel healthy and feel motivated. We all have the capability. We don't need to suffer, right, every day with our internal world, with our mindset, with our bad habits. We don't need that. We can, if you decide to make a choice, we all need to make a choice. If we decide to make a choice today, I'm going to be the best version of myself each and every single day. If you show up and you decide to get mentally strong, to continue to fight, then this life, we can totally change our lives. But it starts with us. It starts with taking accountability, looking ourselves in the mirror, and making positive changes each and every single day. So, guys, this episode is really just about inspiring you guys to be better, inspiring myself to be better. And we want to be able to collectively come together as a community and be better people, be the best versions of ourselves. And it's not going to be easy. There's days where life happens, but like I said before, getting right on the back, getting on the right track, and evolving, growing, and improving. So today's episode was by myself. Next episode we'll be able to have more guests, and I'll continue. My promise to you guys is I'm going to bring guests that are trying their best to be better. This brand is about authenticity. I want to bring guests that are able to live what they preach, and it's my job to bring you guys the best product. So you continue to get inspired, continue to motivate. So thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I can't believe it's almost September. It's kind of crazy. The whole summer has been going by really fast. But from my best to you guys, continue to evolve, continue to grow, and let's continue to live a life of purpose, of happiness, and becoming the best versions of ourselves each and every single day. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll be back next time with another episode, and take care.